A few months ago, I reviewed the HBO series Scenes from a Marriage. In that review, I did reference Tom Ford's 2016 film Nocturnal Animals, which is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to focus on the hypergamous nature displayed by our main character Susan, played by Amy Adams. For people who don't understand the meaning of the word hypergamy, here you go.
The definition of hypergamy is the act of a female marrying a man of a superior class or caste.
Alright, so now that we got that over with, let's get into it. Chronologically, we first see Susan when she bumps into her former classmate Edward, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. The two spark up a good conversation that eventually leads to dinner. Here we learn more about these two characters. Susan is an aspiring artist while Edward is an aspiring novelist. Throughout the conversation, we see that Susan lacks confidence in herself. She's not fully convinced that she has what it takes to become a successful artist. On the other hand, Edward expresses that he sees her potential. What draws Susan to Edward is his confidence in his goal. He also showcases interest and confidence in her goals. Susan starts to view Edward as a guy who has a vision and a path, and this is why she is the one leading the relationship forward. Now on paper, this is a couple that actually works. They both aspire to take on unconventional careers, so this could be an opportunity to lift each other up throughout the journey. But we all know when you dive into being a writer or being an artist, it doesn't guarantee financial success. And this is when all the outside noise starts to kick in. Throughout the date, we learn some information about Susan's parents.
They're religious, conservative, sexist, racist, Republican, materialistic, narcissistic, racist. I could keep going.
It gets even more interesting when we see how Susan feels about her mother, and we see exactly why in their scene together. Susan's mother represents the outside noise that you would see in any relationship. These are the people who don't have relationships or are in bad relationships, and they try to talk you out of a good thing. In Susan's mother's eyes, Edward is not good enough, and because he doesn't have financial stability, she feels that Susan is going to regret her decision later down the road. Now there's two ways that people usually respond to friends and family members like this. A, they cut them off. They see exactly what's going on, and they cut all ties right then and there. I still love you, but I gotta love you at a distance. Or option B, they begin to take on the messenger's fears as their own. And this is exactly what Susan falls victim to.
In a few years, all these bourgeois things, as you so like to call them, are going to be very important to you. And Edward's not going to be able to give them to you. He has no money.
Susan's family is obsessed with upholding a particular status and image. And although Susan doesn't want to be anything like her mother, she does care about what her mother thinks about her. Although Susan's mom represents the outside noise, she also represents the inevitable. We get a very strong sense that Susan's mother married for money and not love. Sure, she's rich and entitled, but she's also been in Susan's shoes before. So it makes sense that she understands how this is all gonna play out.
You're wrong. You and I are nothing alike.
Really? Just wait. We all eventually turn into our mothers.
Although Susan stands behind Edward's vision, her mother's words cause her to question the relationship. This is the turning point when hypergamy kicks in and Susan starts to think like her mother. She tries to convince Edward that his writing is not that good and that he should consider going back to school.
I don't see what's wrong with that. I mean, I'm just being a realist. I mean, what, you're gonna work at a bookstore and just write a novel? Like, that's what you want to do with your life?
This is when Edward tells her what we already know.
What?
You sound like your mother.
With the future with Edward being too uncertain, Susan catches the eye of a guy at school who fits the mold of what her mother would want. Soon after, she breaks up with Edward, citing reasons that all fall in line with hypergamous nature.
We may be perfect for each other if we didn't live in the real world, but I live in the real world, and I need a life that is more structured. I need a future that is more structured. I want to be the person that you want me to be, but I just can't.
She also secretly aborts Edward's child, making sure that they have no ties together whatsoever. 20 years after Susan left Edward for her classmate, she receives a manuscript of Edward's novel. By this time, her marriage is deteriorating and she's clearly being cheated on. The life she left Edward for is not all it's cracked to be, and everyone around her is overly superficial. She even has a friend who's openly married to a homosexual male just simply based on his financial stability and status. The book not only proves that Edward was able to achieve his goal, but it also allows Susan to question her decision to choose financial stability over happiness. Everything that she despised in her mother is exactly what she's become. She didn't believe in herself and she didn't believe in her partner. So by the time that she wants to reconnect, it's too late. Side note, it shouldn't take you 20 years to write a book, bruh. Like, what's going on? All in all, Nocturnal Animals is a revenge story. And of course, there's a lot more elements to the film that I'm not going over. But hopefully this helps you understand that Susan's mom did not blindly understand where her daughter was going to go. She herself has most likely climbed up the dating ladder up until marrying Susan's father. And with their social status, she's aware that Susan's going to come across more suitable people. I say suitable lightly, but you get where I'm going. And this is why Susan's mom doesn't feel that she has to try hard to make Susan be like her. She knows it's going to happen regardless. But I'm curious to know what you think, so let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know that as well. Peace.
You both have the same kind of sadness in your eyes.
What?
You and your mother.